Vocalizing in labor. This is one fear that a lot of birthers bring up, especially if they're planning a home birth and maybe live in an apartment or condo with thin walls and they're worried about disturbing the neighbors or embarrassing themselves. But I'm here to tell you that vocalizing is actually a good thing, and you can even use it as a hack to get you through. Want to know how? Stay tuned to find out. Hi, I'm Ashley, and I'm a doula, a birth photographer, and a childbirth educator in the Greater Toronto area, and I'm extremely passionate about informed and empowered birth. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any tips, tricks, and advice to birth and parent like a boss. To understand why vocalizing during labor can be beneficial, it's important to understand what it triggers. So you are probably aware already of the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, but in case you need a quick refresher, the sympathetic nervous system is where our fight, flight, or freeze response lives. So when the sympathetic nervous system kicks into gear, we tend to tense up, blood rushes to our extremities, and adrenaline starts pumping. This is exactly what we want to avoid in labor. Adrenaline will cancel out endorphins, which are our body's natural painkiller, and it will also cancel out oxytocin, which is the hormone needed for contractions. The parasympathetic nervous system, on the other hand, works in the opposite way. When it is triggered, our heart rate decreases, our blood pressure lowers, and blood is directed towards our muscles and digestive and reproductive organs instead of our extremities. Basically, it calms us down, it makes us zen, and we need that blood flow going to our muscles because remember, the uterus is one giant muscle. This is exactly where we want to be in labor, to have as smooth and as gentle a birth as possible. Now, the vagus nerve, or the wandering nerve if you're using Latin, is a nerve that runs down from the base of the brain. It branches out into the chest and it continues into the abdomen. As it travels down the body, it touches on the vocal cords and almost every other major organ, including the heart and lungs. Unfortunately, we cannot consciously control our parasympathetic nervous system. However, we can hack it by stimulating the vagus nerve ourselves. So there are three primary ways to do this. One is slow, rhythmic belly breathing. This is why so much emphasis is placed on breathing in labor. The second way is to wash your face with cold water. Yeah, it sounds super random, but it actually stimulates the mammalian diving reflex that helps mammals stay underwater longer by slowing respiration and heart rate. And three, the purpose of this video really is vocalizing. That means humming, moaning, singing, chanting, even growling. Doing any of these in as low a tone as possible creates vibrations of the vocal cords and stimulates the vagus nerve. So chanting the word during meditation is a good example of this. And again, the lower the tone, the better. The high-pitched screaming that we so often see in movies and TV is just not going to cut it. So again, the trick to hacking the parasympathetic nervous system using vocalization is to be intentional with it. Keep your tone low no matter what type of vocalization you feel urged to do. And that's another thing I want to mention. When birthers are in their truly primal state, which is the optimal state for birth, the urge to vocalize often comes naturally. So please don't be afraid to make all the noises. I can tell you from personal experience that it can work, and truly anyone who is uncomfortable with it, with vocalization during labor, is really not familiar with how physiologic birth works. So my final message, you do you and what anyone else thinks. Let me know in the comments below if you vocalize during your birth, or if you haven't given birth yet, are you willing to try it? And don't forget to grab your printable birth affirmations from the link in the description. And if you want more doula tips and tricks, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button and share with anyone in your life who is pregnant or a new parent. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.